That's right. This program is designed to help deputies responding to situations dealing with mental health. Co-responders go out with them with the goal of de-escalating the situation and then connecting people with mental health services. Now, officials say they are seeing great success with the program, and now they're looking to develop a peer support program that would work with smaller agencies within the county that need the extra resources. Commissioner Borgeson questioned the sheriff's office about the resources already out there that aren't being utilized, such as the mobile crisis teams.
A lot of the hang-up is that when you've already been on scene for 10 to 15 minutes, determine that you want mobile crisis response to come, and then you call mobile crisis response and it takes them another 30 minutes to get there, and then you're on scene while they are resolving the situation. When you have a co-responder that is dispatching at roughly the same time, you know, it can make a call 15 minutes versus 45 minutes.
Now, in June of 2022, we reported the sheriff's office hired its first crisis co-responder, and in today's meeting, officials confirmed the program officially launched in mid-November of last year. Now, since this past December, they say 90 calls have been categorized as mental health situations, and co-responders assisted with about 30 of those calls. But at this point, there are no developed plans for launching the peer support program. On your side, Aaron Hartley, 6 News.
Lawmakers in both